Alrighty, hello YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cryptic Coil, and I'm going to be deviating from the usual content that I create on YouTube, and I'm going to talk fragrances again. Specifically, my most recent purchase came home from work today. It was sitting there on my doorstep, and this is Nuit de Passion by Pendora Scents. Now, I've heard other people on the internet pronounce it Nuit de Passion, but Nuit is French for night, and uh, passion is pronounced passion. Okay, and so it means night of passion in translated from French to English. I was learning French for a while, but my life has been so hectic over the last year. I've kind of halted my French lessons on Duolingo, but I fully intend to get back into it. Anyway, so Nuit de Passion is supposed to be a clone or a dupe of, and let me look at the bottle. So I started, it's Midnight in, or Midnight Poison by Christian Dior. Okay. Now, I want to tell you why I purchased this and what my history is with this fragrance. Okay. So, this is just a 50 milliliter bottle. It's almost empty. I only have a few sprays left. And this is a fragrance that I have enjoyed very much over the last 10 plus years. It's been about 12 years since I bought this bottle. I had a backup bottle. It was a tester. It was a 100 ml bottle. It didn't come with a box. It was sealed in cellophane. And gosh, how long has it been? How long has it been? It's been about 7 years, maybe 7 or 8 years. I hurt my back. I was out of work on short term disability, and I was only making like 60 or 70% of my paycheck. And I had a hard time making ends meet during those few months. And I had to sell some of my fragrances, including my two vintage silver collar Dior Homme Intense bottles, and then my 100 ml bottle of this. And so I've been very, very frugal with this juice, and I miss it. Midnight Poison by Christian Dior has been discontinued, and it's been discontinued for a very long time. And the reason why it got discontinued is because it didn't sell very well, because it was marketed to women, and a lot of women weren't wearing it because they thought it smelled too masculine. And then a bunch of guys found out, and so there were some guys out there that were buying it and wearing it for themselves. Even like heterosexual cisgendered men like me, I was like, hey, let me check it out. And I was one of them. So it's been discontinued for a long time. Like I said, I've been very frugal with the juice. I only wear it on special occasions. Usually, if I'm dressed up, I usually require a dress shirt and or a tie, or maybe even a suit and tie to wear it. So it's a very special occasion scent. But Nuit de Passion, the bottle, it actually kind of looks a little reminiscent to Midnight in Poison. So they're definitely telegraphing what exactly it is that they're doing with the presentation. Give me a moment. I'm going to need a sip of a little something something before I try this for the first time and receive my first impression of it. All right. Well, actually, hold up. This is what happened. I bring the box in, I open it, I take it out, I rip off the cellophane, and I'm eager to try it. But then I said, wait a minute, Cryptic, why don't you film yourself doing a first impressions video and let the Fragcom do this with you? So I have seen a few reviews of this on YouTube, and from what I hear, it's pretty good. It's a good substitute. I'm nervous though. I'm very nervous to try this because I did, drop money, several dozen dollars on it. It's not going to kill me. It didn't break the bank. It's just that the last Pendora Sense fragrance that I purchased, I'm not satisfied with. I'll wear it, I'll kill the bottle, I'll never repurchase. I think it was called Destination Plantina. It's a clone of Chanel's Platinum Egoist. It smells great. They got the smell very close. The problem is that you spray it and a few minutes later it's gone. It doesn't last. If you spray it on your clothes will not smell like it in the morning. The performance is poor, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Very poor performance. And I believe that Pandora Sense actually has a good reputation in the clone community. I wasn't happy with my first purchase of that fragrance. So I have my hopes up really high with this one. All right. Now, before I compare Nuit de Passion to Midnight Poison, I'm going to just talk about Midnight Poison, okay? So, Midnight Poison came out in the year 2007. It was classified as a woody chypre. I don't know why. There's no wood notes in it whatsoever. So, I don't know, whatever. The concoction of this formula was a collaboration between three perfumers. Okay, and I don't know how to pronounce this gentleman's first name because it could either be Jacques or Jacques. I used to work with a gentleman named Jacques, but I've met and heard of other people who spelled their name this way, and it's just pronounced Jacques. Due to the fact that I have history with a former coworker named Jacques, I will be referring to this gentleman as Jacques, and his full name is Jacques Cavalier Belletrude. So this was a collaboration between Jacques Cavalier Belletrude, Olivier Cresp, and Francois Dumaki. Let me tell you the top notes, and then I'll tell you what these perfumers were notable for on their resumes. The top notes are bergamot and mandarin orange. Okay, bergamot and mandarin orange are both very orangey notes. Okay, so they're going to give you a very orange citrus type of scent. The middle note is rose, and the base notes are patchouli, amber, and vanilla. All right, so upon first spray of Midnight Poison, you do get that citrus, that orange citrus kind of vibe, okay? But it smells kind of dirty. And I suspect that it smells dirty because you have rose and patchouli accompanying it. Okay, patchouli is going to be a linear note throughout the life of the fragrance while it's on your skin. The rose is going to last somewhere between halfway to 3/4 of the way that the fragrance lasts on your skin. The citrus on the top will go away. I would say if you're lucky, the citrus might last you about 2 hours and then it'll die off. You'll be left with a combination of the rose, the patchouli, and the amber and the vanilla. My nose does pick up a little bit of the amber. It doesn't pick up the vanilla, but I do believe that the amber and the vanilla work throughout the entirety of the fragrance to kind of smooth out the patchouli and the rose. And so this is actually a very sophisticated fragrance. I would say you would have to be 27 and up to wear it. I think it would smell most appropriate on a 27-year-old and up. It's definitely unisex. As a heterosexual man, I have no problem wearing this. It's not gonna shatter my confidence in any way because under no circumstance would I be afraid that if I wear this out in public, someone would come up to me and be like, "Dude, you smell like a chick," because that never happened to me. In fact, all of my experiences wearing this fragrance were very positive. This was actually a pretty decent compliment getter. So I don't mind the fact that it was marketed to women. I don't think that Dior had to make that choice to market it to women. I think they could have and should have marketed it as unisex. All right, now that that's out of the way, I want to talk to you about the perfumers. Okay, so if you're watching this video, chances are you're a Dior fanatic like I am, and you know darn well who Francois Zumaki is. Okay, I don't believe Francois Zumaki is the in-house perfumer for Dior any longer, but he was for a really long time. The early 2010s through I want to say the early 2020s. So I don't know if he's still the in-house perfumer, but I don't think he is. But he was there for over a decade for sure. Okay. And then the other two, so there's Olivier Cresp and Jacques Cavalier Bellatrude. So let's talk about Olivier Cresp's resume. So on Fragrantica, he has 442 fragrances listed under him. It's a pretty impressive resume. So he's been doing this for a very long time. And I just want to talk about some of the notable fragrances that he's known for creating. He did an homage fragrance called Bracken Man. I've never gotten my nose on that one. But he's done several for Antonio Banderas, including Seduction in Blue plus Flankers and also Seduction in Black. He's also done Azzaro's Wanted, the original Azzaro Wanted, and then Azzaro Wanted Girl by Night. He did the original, or he did Dior Dune Pour Homme, which I've actually never gotten my nose on. I know that a perfume store at my local mall does have it in stock, and I've been meaning to buy it. I just never got around to it. He did Givenchy Gentleman and some flankers, including the Privé, which I'm a huge fan of. How much do I have left? Ooh, I have a dent in this bottle. I bought it off a coworker. He bought it for himself, didn't want it. He charged me $80 for it. It was nearly full. What else has Olivier Cresp done? He's done Dolce and Gabbana's Light Blue and some of the flankers. He's done many fragrances for Mercedes-Benz. He did Mont Blanc's Legend Spirit. He did Thierry Mugler's Angel and several of its flankers. I'm a big fan of Angel. This is another fragrance that a man could pull off because some people say that if you take Amen versus Angel and you just eliminate the tar note from Amen, you get Angel. Big fan of this stuff. This was never a full bottle. It was an empty at the store. It was a tester, and I asked if I could have it. They let me take it. So it's just a knickknack on my dresser. He did Sedley for Parfums de Marly. He did Black Excess and some of its flankers for Paco Rabanne. He's done various fragrances for Shakira. He collaborated with Jacques Cavalier Bellatrude on Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. He did Valentino's Valentina and many of the flankers. He did Valentino's Uomo Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. And he did one of my all-time favorite summer fragrances. He did Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Okay. Now let's talk about Jacques Cavalier Bellatrude. He has a very impressive resume as well. On Fragrantica, he has credit for 234 fragrances, so approximately almost half as many, okay? He's done 2 for Amouage, but 2 I've never heard of, so I didn't even bother writing him down. He's done a bunch for Bulgari, including the Aqua Pour Homme line, including Aqua Amara. Yeah, so that was him. And even Bulgari's Tiger. Okay, he did Diesel's Fuel for Life. He did Armani's Code Sport. Okay, do you guys remember Code Sport? Code Sport was actually it was one of my favorites from that line because I didn't really like Code and Code Ultimate because they had Gaiac wood. I don't like Gaiac wood, but Code Sport smelled like Sprite. Yeah, it was a lemon lime, fizzy, citrus, clean summer scent. It was so good. Such a shame that it got discontinued. Another one bites the dust. I'm going to pour one out for all our long lost fragrances that got discontinued over the years. Okay. All right. He did oh, he did one of my favorite date night scents. Armani or Emporio Armani Diamonds for Men. I actually know a woman who wears this for herself. It smells good on her. This is another one that could be unisex, but I like to wear this one on dates. And let's just say I have my reasons from the past and leave it at that. All right. He did L'Odyssée by Issey Miyake and some of the flankers. Was L'Odyssée originally for women and then L'Odyssée pour homme? Well, obviously that one would be for men because he's got both on his resume and many flankers, including like some of the summer editions, like summer 2010. He also did most of the Jean-Paul Gaultier Classique line because he's got a million flankers on there. He's done a bunch of fragrances for Louis Vuitton, including Imagination. He did a whole bunch of fragrances for Nina Ricci. He collaborated with Olivier Cresp on Noir de Noir by Tom Ford. And he's worked for YSL, including Cinema, L, Opium pour Homme, and the heartbreakingly, devastatingly missed Rive Gauche. Okay, the people who were there that tried Rive Gauche, they loved that fragrance. It was a barbershop fragrance. I have gotten my nose on it once. That they had a tester of it, an old tester. It was nearly empty at a local perfume store that went out of business a long time ago. That's actually where I got this, and then the backup bottle. That's where I got this. The manager of the store let me try it because he was just as fanatical as I was, and I was his favorite customer because I knew so much because I was so immersed in the fragcom. I hadn't started my own channel yet, but I was on the verge of it by the time that store closed. All right, so with all of that being said, wow, this video has turned out to be super long. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, so yeah, this is a weird video. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and spray Midnight Poison on my hand because I'm already wearing a scent. My scent of the day was Afnan's 9 a.m. Dive. It's like a cross between YSL and Bleu de Chanel. So I'm gonna spray it somewhere else. Okay, I got a good spritz, and I'm gonna kind of waft, and I'm gonna kind of get the alcohol off. Oh wow, yeah, that takes me back. It's been a good number of years since I've touched this stuff. Yeah, man, this is good. I got memories in my mind right now. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and do a spray on this hand with the Nuit de Passion, and then I'm gonna waste a spray so you can check out the atomizer. Like, how's the spritzer on this one? Okay. Yeah, so there's some pretty solid distribution. Now I got it all over my hand, so I'm probably gonna have to wash my hands after this. Screw it. Hey, you know what? Give me a sec. I might be suffering from olfactive fatigue right now because I've been wearing this all day. I sprayed the midnight poison on this hand, and I can smell it, but faintly. And this, I'm just not picking it up. So give me a sec. I'm gonna go grab some coffee, and I'm gonna try to clear my nasal passages. It'll just take a sec. All right, and I'm back. Let me. All right. Let me just do this on the. Okay, so the coffee did help. Geez, and there's more leakage, and it's just all over my hands, man. I'm gonna have to wear latex gloves to spray this stuff. All right, could somebody in the comment section tell me, do you have any experience with Pendora scents? Okay, because I I'm just pretty jaded about my experience with Destination Plantina, and then I'm getting leakage every time I spray Nuit de Passion. Okay, and I was really excited for this one, and I'm really annoyed right now with my experience. Okay, I might end up having to redo this because, to tell you the truth, I don't detect it very strongly. I just don't. It's what my nose is picking up is very faint. Okay, and it could be me. I don't want to blame the fragrance just yet. Like I said, I've been wearing this stuff all day. I have it all over me. I've been struggling with smoking lately. I've quit, and then I've cheated. I had one cigarette before work this morning. My throat is clearing out. My nose is clearing out. Unfortunately, I just can't give the best first impression, and I don't want to BS you. So I'm going to end the video right about now. I what I can detect is very faint, and it's very reminiscent of Midnight Poison for sure. I'm definitely picking up on a blend of the initial citrus, the initial citrus, a little bit of the rose, and the patchouli. Like, it's a very familiar scent to me because I'm very familiar with the scent of Midnight Poison. I'm definitely getting a little bit of it, but when I purchased this fragrance, I was really hoping for decent projection and performance. My nose is not, I'm afraid that my nose is not accurately indicating to me what I got here. So I'm probably going to do a follow-up video and let you know that, yeah, I tried it during a time where I wasn't smelling other fragrances all day. Okay, and then I have a spray on this hand of Midnight Poison. My nose isn't really picking up on it. I truly think it's just olfactive fatigue. I'm sorry about this, but I hope that I'm not just trying to make myself feel better because I'm a little embarrassed. I do think that there's some value to be taken from this video because I essentially reviewed Midnight Poison for you. I kind of told you who some of the perfumers were behind it. I showed you the packaging and the bottle for Nuit de Passion. If you didn't know how to pronounce it, I taught you how to pronounce it. Hopefully that's worth something, I'm hoping. Yeah, just show you the box. Okay, I mean, it's, just a pretty standard box. Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, I have bottle leakage issues with my Destination Plantina. It's so cheap that I thought I could just leave it in my armrest compartment in my car. And the cap has something cheap that's just glued on. And because it's July, or it was July, something melted and like the adhesive is coming out of the cap. So not the most expensive packaging. I do think it's a pretty bottle. I like the bottle. Oh my God, this thing is just saturated with the fragrance from the leakage. All right, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm done. I'll go ahead and wrap up, but I really would appreciate people in the comment section below if you could tell me what your experience is with Pendora Scents. Do you think that is a house that I should continue exploring, or should I just give it up? Because to tell you the truth, I don't know if it's the scent or if it's my nose, because neither one would surprise me. All right, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you at least enjoyed the video and the history lesson on Midnight Poison. All right, take care, horns up, and peace out.